It's Rick. Come my what is it? 12. It says 12:04. I'm gonna do a painting here today. I'm just gonna relax and do a painting. If you haven't subscribed yet, I got some cool stuff coming up with uh, smaller canvases. These are good if you're out there selling because they just sit. They can sit on someone's desk, you know. And if you're doing a lot of art, make sure you do a lot of different sizes. When I'm out there selling, they like they like these small ones too. Okay, you got to have a lot of different size canvases out there when you're selling. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm just gonna paint today. You can watch. I'll I'm not gonna explain anything, but you can see how I grab my paint. Right now I'm just going to sketch something with my knife. This is burnt umber and black. Okay. Maybe that's all I'll tell you is what color I'm grabbing. Let me zoom into this. I'm almost at 1,500. 1,500 subscribers. That's awesome. I found out these bubbles, you can move them. Look at that. I don't know if they pop. Let me get my knife. Let's see if we can get them to pop. No. Yeah, maybe it does. Kind of move around. All right, let me get started. It's funny how it says on my statistics, it says after the first, which doesn't make sense, after the first 3 seconds, 60%, 70% of the people already shut off after 3 seconds. So they must click it on and then click it off that quick. I don't get it. So it blows my mind. All right, but I'm here to show you how I do my landscapes. I'm going to get started. I'm working on getting new equipment, some new recording equipment. Uh, and stuff like that. I got some ideas for the future. Uh, so it's going to be all good. I'm trying not to make the hills so steep today, but I'm just going to put something in here. If you saw my video from yesterday, a lot of things just kind of appear on their own when you sketch it in like this. So that's why I do it like this, because a lot of things can just kind of just take shape uh, on their own. I always like to have some cool mountains in there. That way I got some kind of valley coming in here. I see it already coming around like this. Swooping around, got some rocks in here. See how you can kind of design things you wouldn't ordinarily design. Like if I keep these in here, I could make like a little cliff right here. See that? Could make those like distant cliffs. When I put this shade color on here, just to, just so I can kind of see what the mountain's going to look like, which way I'm going to draw my color. Since I'm standing over here, of course I'm going to draw it to the right. You know, it's easier. Let me straighten this out for you. I know my camera's crooked, but it makes the canvas straight for you. I always do this. This is the horizon here now. You see, this is where, if the sun was in here, this is where the sun would set, right here. But I started it, you know, almost halfway up. If you start your horizon down here, if this would have been lower, then I wouldn't have to design so much stuff down here. So, but I'm going to show you how I do my clouds now. I haven't figured out what to call it yet, but it helps on showing you how to get your distance. Let's say I'll kind of show you here. I wasn't going to show you, but let's say this is the farthest point in the sky here, and now you would put your clouds in on this arch, I call it, like this. Just draw an arch in like this and bring it up to the corner here, just like that. Now when you put your clouds in, you would follow this arch, and then I don't have the lines figured out yet for you, but this would be large, a little small, a little small. You would get smaller going. This would be the smallest cloud back there. It'll work. I'll show you when I get there. Maybe I'll explain the one part on the clouds. And then it looks like the clouds are shooting off to the back there. It's pretty cool. All right, let me finish designing this thing so I can paint it. I've got some time today, so I'm not in a rush. I don't know how I want this hill. Let me just put some cool stuff in here. We'll see what kind of appears from it. Ba-da-ba. think that's enough landscape there. I think I'll just put a bush down here when I'm ready. Just some kind of bushes in here. Then I could put some kind of trees coming out of there. I'll have distant trees in here. Probably gonna have at least one main tree over here. And it looks like I'm gonna have a pathway coming down. You see that? That looks kind of cool. I'll bring it out to the side here. I keep getting, my phone keeps buzzing. Does that ever happen to you? It keeps buzzing in my pocket, but the phone's not in my pocket. I forget what they call that, but some kind of phenomenon with your phone. All right, there's my sketch. I don't think I'm going to do much more to it. This looks like it's going to be a hill here, a hill here. We'll have a path coming down. Maybe that'll be water, and I can put like some waterfalls in here. Yeah, I might do that. I might run that as water and put waterfalls in here, like at certain spots in the picture, like a waterfall there, and maybe one right here. Waterfall. All right, I'm gonna start mixing my paint now. I bought some rags finally. They're better than paper towels. I'm going to use Payne's Gray. I'll tell you the colors I'm going to use. Payne's Gray. Cerulean blue for the sky, just a little. This is Utrecht. I got cad yellow medium. Oh, sap green. Utrecht sap green. I really like this sap green. It already is kind of dark compared to the Winsor & Newton sap green. I mean, look, I just put the sap green out. Look how dark that is. I just have to put a little bit of that burnt umber in there. Then I can make trees. So a little bit of yellow ochre. I ran out of yellow ochre just now. But I think I bought another tube of that. I'm going to put a little bit of violet next to my blue. It's always good to put a little violet in your blue. It makes it pop. Instead of red, I'm going to use Alzarian crimson, which is, I read the old masters that did landscapes. This is they used Alzarian crimson for their landscapes. So it's really rich color. It's uh it's really like a rich red. It's not too bright, you know. If you put a bright color in a landscape, it's going to draw that person's eye to the bright color. So that's why I use the Alzarian crimson. It's not as bold as cad red. Uh, and I need burnt umber. I already got some mixed there. What do I need? Oh, white. Titanium white. Look at that. I just went to Dick's last week and I'm almost out of white already. I use a lot of white because landscapes you're going to have a lot of clouds, right? And I put a lot of snow on my mountains, so that's why I use a lot of white. And let's see, what else do I need here? I'm going to put a little more burnt umber, just regular burnt umber. It's kind of coagulated. If you've used this Utrecht paint, this is the one of the colors that comes out. It comes out very rubbery. You see that? It's just their burnt umber that does that. You gotta put a little bit of something else in it and mix it. Once you mix it with a little bit of something, then it goes back to normal. There's just some kind of chemical in that brown that doesn't really like, doesn't jive for some reason. Doesn't like to sit in the tube for too long. All right, I'm gonna get started, guys. And I'm just gonna paint. So Lisa and I have a show tomorrow. We're on YouTube if you want to check out our channel. It's called Rick and Lisa Experience. We've been playing together for almost 4 years now, so we're pretty good. We do a lot of covers, but we also have some originals. But Lisa's in charge of our YouTube channel, but she doesn't put our originals on. So I was thinking about maybe put our originals on my channel just to show you some of the songs I wrote. If you want to hear them, it's up to you. like the blues, so I'm thinking about starting like a blues channel to show people how to play the blues on guitar. And then I'm in another band. It's called the Magnolia Steel Band. We have an album out. We're on iTunes. And we're getting ready to go in the studio again to make our second album. So I got a lot going on. I love doing my art. These landscapes are. I'm gonna start doing more things that are closer, like those flowers I showed you at the beginning of the video. You got to have a lot of, if you're out there selling, you got to have a lot of different things, okay? And the landscapes they're like the number one seller. I mean, every time I go out to sell, I mean, as soon as I set up, sometimes the paintings are flying off the table before I even get done setting up. So people love landscapes. But I mean, they also love abstract too, so it depends. I'm just trying to tell you, there's still a demand for landscapes. If you could mix your style, if you do abstract, if you could take your style and put it into this, you might be onto something. I'm just lucky to live in Seattle because there's a lot of demand for art here. And it's a really big city, and the surrounding areas, there's a lot of people here. I'm going to try my mop brush and try and blend that down a bit. Kind of already dry. When I do my clouds, I'm going to use this and blend the bottoms out. Alright, that looks pretty good. I like that. I'm not sold on the blue. I'm going to try and lighten up. I don't know. Just leave a little blue up there. I'm really not I like to see a blue sky, but I don't like really painting blue skies. I'd rather have like a dark sky, but usually what I do on my mountains now, I'll take Payne's Gray, and I'll just explain this part. That's it. I take Payne's Gray and then put a little blue in it, any kind of blue, and then a little white. And I use that color for my mountains. It ends up being a dark, like a dark bluish color. Look at that. Sometimes it's almost, you could put a little black in it if you want it to be really dark. I'm going to cut the edges of my mountains pretty good so it looks like they're finished on top. So how to do that, you just wet your brush just a little bit and you'll get a nice finished edge on the top. Yeah, look at those mountains already. A bluish gray. Man, that looks wicked. Looks wicked. I'm gonna grab a little light blue now. Maybe I'll just tell you what colors I'm grabbing. I'm not going to explain everything. Where's my valley? Oh, it's all down in here. Okay. Look at that. If you keep working your mountain till it dries, because believe it or not, it stays wet for a while, and you can sometimes something will appear in there on its own the more you play around with that paint. Look at that mountain. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I want to have, I don't want to forget about this water here. You could almost put this in last if you remember your water, and you can, it's kind of cool. You just put the water in over all your hills and add it in on top of all the painting when it's done. Uh, I'll do that. So I'm just gonna forget about the water right now. I'm gonna put this hill in here. I kind of looks like this hill's gonna be going back this way. See that? I'm gonna make it gray, a light gray with a little blue in it, because it still looks like mountain to me. It looks like it can be like a cliff. I'm just gonna block it in and then see what happens here in a second. All right, this I'll make a green hill. Little sap green and a little yellow. A little bit of yellow ochre and a little white. And I got a light green here. Put a hill right here. If you've watched my paintings before, I like to get all the color in and then I start designing it after that. So right now, this color I'm putting on is just underpaint right now, okay? It's not the finished color, okay? You could put any color you want down here. I'm trying to design it right now. Just the color. I'm not even thinking about trees yet or rocks or just the groundwork right now I'm thinking about. So I'm going to make this whole section here down to here, just one color. It's going to be a darker green. I'm going to add a little more green to this color, sap green. And I'm going to use that color over here. That's definitely sap green there. Yeah, that painting I did the painting last night. It came out so awesome. Things were just appearing out of nowhere. Like I had a hill here that eventually it turned up over here and it looked like it was going way off into the back there. So I put trees from way back there all the way up the hill. It looked pretty cool. And how that came about, it was after I put all my color in. After I put all my color in, then all this stuff was just starting to show up, you know. what you could do. I think I was going to make this all green down here. I don't want to spend too much time on the groundwork because I'm probably going to put a lot of trees and bushes in here. To me, this is just like background noise. All this color here, it's just going to be the background color of the stuff that I put in later. I'm going to tie these two in together. I think what I'm going to do is make this just some small cliff tops up here. I'm thinking mountain tops. Like another set of mountains in front here, smaller. We'll see. Yeah, see how things just appear as you're painting? This is burnt umber and yellow ochre mixed. Looks like this is going to be a cliff face too here. Doesn't have to be. Oh, yeah, it was going to be bushes. Okay. So, yeah, I was going to put bushes right here. So right here, at the bottom, I'm thinking somehow water is going to get down here at the bottom. Somehow we're going to have some water down there with a few rocks right there. We'll make like a boulder in here. It's like going to be a big rock on this side of the water. And these I'm going to make bushes. So I'm going to just take some of my dark, this is the color I used to This is the color I used to sketch the painting in. That dark burnt umber. Put some dark color around the water here. And then these are going to be some kind of bushes here. You got to put dark in to put light on. If you want something like if you want a dark bush here, lay down your dark color first, and then we can highlight the bushes in there. All right, there we go. This is looking pretty good. This is all the underpaint. This is how I usually get started on the landscape. If you're still watching. That's acrylic paint, but I'm trying to make it look like oil. It looks pretty good. Let me give you a straighter shot here. There we go. Doesn't that look cool so far? See how that water just kind of appeared? I didn't plan on having water down there. It just happened. I'm gonna add I put a little white on the back side so it looks like water. Okay, so that's going to be water. What I'll probably do, I'll run that water down, like I said, and then we can drop it right into the river here. Drop some water in here. It'll look cool. I like this now. We got double mountains. See how that works? Now I'm going to start doing, I'm not going to explain anything, but I'm going to put some trees here right now. I should do the mountains first, but I want to show you before you turn off how cool you could do this stuff. Let's have trees going up that hill, right? So you just take some dark, this is that burnt umber. This is the burnt umber I used to sketch with. Watch, I'm going to run some trees up here, up this hill with the fan brush. We'll get some different heights in here. Like this. And then at the bottom of your trees, pull it out into the green, horizontal, just a little, to create either some shadow underneath there or dark grass. Really get the top of your trees to look like they're finished. Look at that. Got some trees already back there. What I like to do, I take a little bit of white now on my fan brush, just a little bit, and put it in underneath the trees here, just to make the trees stand out. And then just blend it into that brown. Just like that. See how you can see the trees better now? And what I like to do sometimes is dig into the tree, and you can make the edge of the trees look not so straight. See? Like maybe there's going to be a trail coming out of there. Wow. I'm just looking at this in the the iPad, and man, those colors look pretty good. It's a nice choice of colors because it really looks like oil paint to me. It really does. This is Utrecht paint. I really like this stuff for doing landscapes and acrylic, okay? I get this at Dick Blick's. If you have a Dick Blick's in your neighborhood, try some of this. You don't have to get all the colors. Just get the earth tones that you use for landscapes. But this is coming out pretty good, man. I really like it. Did I already use this? I'm going to show you this brush cleaner I got. It's called the Masters brush cleaner. It works pretty good. You just rub your brush in there with hot water, and on a Brillo pad, just rub your brush. You just keep putting it in the soap on the Brillo pad, and it takes all the paint off, even if it's hard. Even if the brush is hard for a week with paint on it, that stuff works pretty good. All right, where's my nicotine? This is looking pretty good. Hey, is that Papier? Where are you from, Papier? It says paper. I'm thinking that's Papier. Puppy. Nice to meet you. I'm going to try a round. This is a round number 2. I'm going to try and put a little color on my mountains up there. Just to separate my peaks real quick. My trees are still wet. I'll probably use a knife up there. But we'll see. Just want to show you that those are going to be uh, some mountains that are closer. Those are going to be far away. I might not even hit those with anything. They look pretty cool. I'll probably lighten this bottom part up a little. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba. We're getting a lot of rain out there. I live in Seattle, so it's starting to rain. I must have touched this with my brush or something here. All right, we got some distant trees running all the way across now. That looks pretty wicked. It looks pretty wicked. See how that, I put that white mist down here? It made that mountain go further back. I can even make it go even further back by putting mist over the whole mountain. Just a light white. It's pretty fun. I guess I kind of want this grass to be shooting up, like from here up that way. So it's all going to tie in somehow together in here. This green grass. It looks pretty good. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the mountain like that. I think it's time to put some clouds up there if you've been waiting for the clouds. I'll do that new technique I figured out. So I don't know, you can still kind of see the line I put in there from the sketch. You see it? So I'm going to follow this line, and here I'm going to make the cloud small and then get bigger here, bigger here, and then have the biggest one at the top there. I'm just going to put them in real quick and see how it looks. So I might have like a small cloud in here to start off. Just a small cloud. And then as I follow that line up, they're going to get bigger and bigger. Okay. Bigger and bigger as it goes up to the top. And it'll look like it's going off to the distance over here. See that? So when you design your clouds, you can get, instead of just putting clouds everywhere, you'll have some perspective on your clouds, okay? That looks pretty good right there. That's all you need. Now, the rest of the clouds, you could pretty much put anywhere you want, but you got to get some kind of, I'm thinking you got to get some kind of perspective in there first to make it look like these clouds are going off into the distance. Because there's a lot of paintings I've done before where I just put the clouds wherever I want and it just looks flat, you know. This just kind of hit me the other day. This arch, I call it. You just make a arch going from here up to the corner. And now, like I said, if you want to put another cloud here, you would make it maybe about this size over here, in line with that. And you would keep all your small clouds way down here at the bottom, okay? Real small clouds down in there. There you go. I'm just going to work these clouds real quick to get them kind of finished in some kind of fashion. You could put some gray at the bottom of the clouds. I didn't blend them. I mean, I should have. You should do one cloud at a time and then kind of blend it. But I didn't do that on here. I can still finish those clouds off, but it's going to take some time now. Alright, so I'm not going to do, I'll probably end up putting another cloud up here in the corner, but that's it. Maybe a floater out in there, but there's another thing I do, like these streaks. I'll put a little white on some of these streaks here. Wherever there's a streak, just like that. You could do it over here too. I see some streaks in here. All right, you get the idea. I want to put a tree in here now. Nice tree. I wish I could put some music on my channel. I think more people would hang out if I put music on. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-da-ba. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-da now. I kind of like that. We'll have this tree right on the edge of the water. Maybe the root is going to be going into the water. Like, have this root going actually into the water. That would look wicked. This one here. This one. And how you would do that at the end, you just highlight the very tops of those roots with white. I'll wait till it dries and then I'll put some white on there to separate the roots, okay? So these are just going to be, this dark area is just going to be bushes in here. I don't know what kind of bushes. I think I'm going to leave all this clear. Let me see how much, where I'm at on time. A little over an hour, so. Little over an hour. So I think all this is going to be bushes in here. Let me just try and make some bush tops up here. Just so I can kind of see what I'm going to end up doing. Have some bushes down here. It's probably going to be flowers in here and stuff down here. I think I'm going to have to put an evergreen tree in there. I don't want to do it because then they'll say it looks like Bob Ross, but let's put a tree over here. I don't want them to say I'm copying Bob Ross, but I mean, I live in Seattle and we've got these trees everywhere. I mean, that's why I paint them. I'm not trying to copy Bob Ross, but we got a lot of evergreen trees in Seattle. I got 10 of them in my backyard. So that's why I'm painting it, because I live near these trees and they look cool. They look really cool, and when I highlight this, it's going to look wicked. I'm not going to put one. I like these trees here. I want them to stay in there, so I'm not going to put another. I could put a small tree here, but that's it. Because it's always good to have. It's always good to have two of them. I'll put a small one, like a baby tree here, but. I don't want to cover up those trees there. I'll put some bushes over here behind the tree. I'll get to highlight those. Watch this now, if you're still on. I'm going to highlight this tree right here. and you're gonna go, wow. So here's the color I used to make that tree: sap green and burnt umber. The color I used for the sketch. Now I'm going to take a little white. Watch this. A little titanium white and mix it in there. A little more. You don't need much white. A little green. So it's almost the same color, just has white in it. Now I'm going to highlight the side of this tree with this light color. Okay. You don't want too much on your brush. You just want to touch it. I'm just going to do the right side. Needs a little more white on. All right, I'm just going to hit the right side of this tree and make a lot of branches by just touching the top parts of the branches here, just from the middle to the right. And you got to make your own branches down here because you don't see them, right? So just touch lightly. Make a few long ones down here. And just into the middle. I call this putting a dress on. Put a dress on that tree. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? Now the lighter you touch and the more branches more color you put on, the more it'll look like a lot of branches, okay? Very lightly. And you want the paint to kind of rest on top of the other paint. Or you could do it wet. This is still kind of wet, so some of it's going to mix. Some of the color's going to mix inside there. Ah, look at, we got the little baby tree there. So same thing, just hit small, very lightly with the corner. Just make small little branches in there. Just like that. And we got a little tree behind there. That looks pretty good. I think there's going to be a little bit of light getting back here on these branches. Just a little bit of light. The light would be kind of sneaking around back there. Leave this side dark. That's what I usually do, but you could do it any way you want. You could actually highlight the whole tree if you want. I just like keeping the one side dark because then it looks like the light's over here on this side. All right, now it's time to highlight these bushes, man. We got a lot of bushes. I'm just going to start with these over here. So what I do is I'll start on the smallest bush and just hit the top and bring it down a little. The same way as you're just barely hitting the canvas with the corner. Leave the bottom dark. This highlighting takes a little practice. But there, supposedly we got 3 bushes there. it kind of worked. I'll probably make those a different color there, those two. So watch, I'll do some of this down here, these small ones. Just bring your color over like that. And then bring a bush up here like this. Another bush. And there's a bush up here. These are bigger bushes. And now start changing the color up. You could actually highlight all the bushes with one color and then come back on top of the color if you want to change the color. I do that sometimes. Let me make it a little whiter, a little lighter. Watch, I'll do a few bushes over here. Start down low and then pick out one over here that's bigger. And just keep adding bushes. I'm layering them on top of each other. And then I'll change the color on these here in a second. But you can kind of see how I'm layering these. And lightly touching on the bottom because I want the dark to show through down here. If you cover all that dark, it's not going to look right. Okay. This is a lot of bushes. This is more than I usually put in. So it's a little harder to do. You just got to be able to see the bushes in there. These are round. These are round bushes, so you don't have to make them round either. Now watch, I'll mix some orange up. I'm going to mix some of my red and yellow and get an orangey color. It's like an orange color. You can actually turn one of these bushes to a different color by just going over the green, okay? Just like that. You don't have to, watch, I'll change this one up here to orange. See that? You just go over, you can highlight, like I said, highlight with one color and then come back and change your colors if you want. I'll put a little more yellow in that orange and then it'll actually turn a different color again. We'll put orange bush down here in the front. Orangey red, kind of a little more orange than that one. You could put flowers down here at the bottom. Okay, flowers over here. But you have to put it on the dark color. If you put it over here on the green, it's not going to look right. So keep that in mind. Look at me, I turned it into a, I wasn't going to explain anything, but I like doing the bushes. I'm still trying to master the bushes. It takes time to master all this stuff. I'm going to say I'm going to have some light coming right in here. So I'm going to put a little white on just a few of these branches in here, just a little. And then maybe it's hitting on a few of these bushes, just on the round parts. Just a little white. That's all you need. If you put white on all of them, it's not going to look right. You just need it in, you know, a certain area. It's like a little sparkle. Sparkle on your painting there. You can knock the white down if it's too much. Just knock it down. You don't want it to be too bright, you know. All right, guys, I think I'm over an hour. Yep, but this one's coming out pretty good. I'll have to finish it on my own, but that was pretty fun. Pretty fun. I think this one's gonna sell once I'm done with it. I gotta finish the water. Finish this rock. This is gonna be a rock down here, and I'm gonna put a small trees way out here in the middle. They'll be really small so it looks like we got some perspective going on there. But keep in mind, if you get anything out of this video, the way I did those clouds, see how they look like they're going off into the distance? Because a lot of people don't do that. They just put their clouds wherever, you know. That's a good way to. Is that a focus? Been having trouble with the focus on here. All right, thanks for watching. Nice to meet you, Paper Papier, and we'll see you on the next video. Got these bubbles. All right, guys. Have a good one. Ciao.